I don't know what Santa Claus brought you, but my mom got me that.
It's like my mom always said, "What the fuck is wrong?"
I was gonna take it to
Your
work.
mom got you that?
Yeah, it was in my stocking. I just thought it was fun.
That's awesome. I wish my mom would give me something like
So,
that, but
I
she
was gonna take it to
wouldn't.
work, but I don't know that it's like I know most of the like my coworkers and stuff would be fine, but it's the like the
Yeah.
school groups and stuff that come in and want to place orders. And I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah, probably
It's
not.
not. It's not use that one.
Probably not the best idea. It's still dope though. But
I said it's perfect for the studio,
the studio,
my garage.
perfect. Fits right in.
I had an idea though.
What's your idea?
So mounting the TV and stuff here, having like using more of the width, having a third chair that we can like include or not include. So like whenever we have
you
Tony
mean like
on,
move the chairs like over
like
this
have
way?
basically it facing this wall.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can get on with that.
I had an idea. All this hurricane door window cover stuff has
Hurricane
to,
preparedness.
yeah, I have nowhere else for that to go, so I don't know. But
It's not a bad idea.
this is episode 180 of the Herpeticulture Podcast. We are back for 2023. We've already been back for Snakes and Stogies.
Yep.
My neighbors across the street are being extremely loud, so if you hear that in the background, I apologize in advance.
I don't
They're
hear
screaming
it.
for no reason.
I don't hear it in the headphones, so I think
I can.
Well, when they do that, yeah, you probably hear
I
it.
don't know what they're doing, but
Being
they're not doing it quietly.
being silly college kids.
It's been very quiet over there. That's like one of two rowdy houses on the street, and it's been very quiet for the last couple weeks. So I'm like, what happened? What had happened?
So essentially, they've been due.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point there was like 6 or 7 people living in that house.
Jesus,
a lot.
That's not the one that's an Airbnb.
The one next door to that. But that's neither here nor there, because this episode is brought to you by Steve Snakeshire and his Venom Hot Sauce. Check it out. Once again, you like hot sauce, and if you're a connoisseur or a collector, you need to go to stevesnakesherry.com and order the whole bundle. Check it out.
Yeah, you won't
Get
be
you
sorry.
some. It's good.
Yeah.
But then, buddy, you ever... Let's get comfortable.
Let's get cozy.
You ever buy a rack?
A rack, you say?
And then come to find out, like a year later, everything that is in it has outgrown it.
Yeah.
Then you got to buy another rack.
Yeah. I have.
So now you have multiple racks.
Yeah.
Maybe you're only using 2 of the 3 or 4, and they're just kind of sitting there. And you thought to yourself, "Damn,
dust.
If only I had a rack where I could just swap out the tubs to make them bigger instead of being beholden to this one Sterilite."
Does such a thing exist?
It does. And it's called the XR16 and the XR20, which is made by BlackBox cages. I love my XR16. I'm getting another XR16. So the 2 racks are basically the same. There's just an extra, 16 minus plus 4, 20. There's an extra 4.
There's an extra 4 levels.
4 levels.
Yeah, but actually adds up to 8 slots because it's 2 sides.
That's right.
So it's an extra 8 slots, but 4 levels higher.
So the nice thing is you can start, have a rack with, I think on the 16, the total is you can have like 48 of the V15s.
What's 16 times 6? No, it's 16 slots. So it would be 8 levels. So 16 times 3 is a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the math in my head.
You
right
know
now,
what we're talking about. 48. Basically, you can get a ton, like 3 per shelf on the V15s, or you can do 2 per shelf on the V18s, or you can do 1 per shelf with the V35s.
Yes.
And so my initial plan was to get an XR16 and get like a bunch of different tubs so that I can interchange them as needed for the upcoming season.
Yes.
What I've ended up deciding to do sort of last minute, because there's new additions that we'll talk about here in a second, is I'm just going to get another 16, but I'm just going to get the 35s again.
Oh, you're getting all 35s again?
Yeah, because pretty much everything at this point that's going to go into that would be hitting that size anyways. Like they could still do an 18, but they'd be kind of on the edge of like they could use something bigger, like it wouldn't hurt them. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and do the 35s.
Yep.
And then I'm getting a toe kick this time, which I
definitely need that.
I need to talk to Jen about the potential to get a toe kick for the original XR16 I have.
Well, you won't need it if you stack them.
That crossed my mind too. So I have my XR16 and I've got the 4 Bio Gs, which are also, it's one of my favorite gauges of all time. Like it's super versatile, like awesome size.
Great gauge.
It looks good. They're phenomenal. And they're also not crazy expensive. They look good and the price is good. I have those 4 sitting on top of that XR16. My thought is I could either move those Bio Gs off of that, put them on top of the other not great rack that rhymes with manimal schmastics, and then have those 2 stacked. But I also need to actually measure because I want to say I thought about it and it might be too tall.
The XR16 stack?
Maybe it was the 220s that was too tall. But if I did a 20 and a 16, I could pull it off.
Are you getting a 20 or a 16?
I'm getting a 16.
What do you have now?
20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the stack I have, and I think I have like 10-foot ceilings like you do. And
mine's only like 7.
Oh.
7.5. Maybe 8, because that Cambro rack is 7'4", and there's like probably 6 inches of clearance between it and the ceiling. So,
well, if you have a tape measure, we can do some measuring after the episode and check it out.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do yet. I moved. Basically, I was gonna end up getting just a single XR20 with a bunch of different tubs and kind of be able to use them as needed. With the new stuff that came in today, I'm actually going to end up getting an XA3, which is a 36 by 24 by 18.
Oh, cage?
Yeah. And I'm going to do UV and LEDs in that. I'm not going to do heat because what I'm keeping in this, it's not really going to be necessary. And so that's kind of what I sent Jen this morning, basically saying, here's what I'm in need of. And we need to get your stuff in, and then we need to, I guess, figure out. It's going to be a couple weeks before we get any of it. They've got things to catch up on. I told Jen, like, we're not in any major hurry. So
it's not a huge rush.
Obviously, don't bump us in front of people that are customers, like they're playing catch up after the holidays and stuff. So there's no rush. Whatever you get to it. Kind of gives us more time to sort of plan ahead and stuff.
Yeah. We need to figure out what we're doing for that trip because the last one was, well, I guess the last one we actually went down for the show and stayed the night. That's right.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
No, that was
cool
actually
if Bill
good.
Could do that again.
Yeah, that
Bill
would
Bradley
be cool.
drove down and picked up some stuff. And
yeah, we met up with Keller too. That was a fun weekend. It was a good time. I guess I was thinking of the first time we went there before we actually had the sponsorship.
Where we went up there and
came back, and that was a hellacious drive.
I really want to avoid you hauling again.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need. Well, I guess since you're getting the XA3 now, but I was thinking so we take the cap off of my truck because you're getting an XR16. I'm getting the ARS rack,
which I really like. So they have an ARS rack, which for the ARS 55.
Yeah, I'll specify. It's a rack. It's a BlackBox racks for ARS tubs specifically. I'm getting one of those. I believe, it is the 55 version.
I was looking into that at one point as well because I was like, that might be like that's a good size for like
it is.
A lot of the corns and stuff. Like that's a good size that is it's versatile. And when I say versatile, in relation to like the BioGs and stuff, it's not something that you're sort of limited on what you can keep in it, if that makes sense. Like the Biogs I love because it's like I could keep Boyga in there, young stuff, not full grown adults, but like the rhinos are in there. They're doing phenomenal. I've kept chondros in them. Like
you keep small rat snakes in them.
Yeah. It's just they're really nice, and so that's sort of the nice thing about that 55 rack is that's a good size tub that you can get a lot of use out of.
Because it's barely smaller than a V70 tub. Mm-hmm. Like it's a little smaller. It's the same length, but it's not quite as wide.
So like half the width.
Not even. I think it's.
No,
I think.
Excuse me.
Vape. Yeah. Shut up. Yeah, I'd have to look exactly, but I believe the 55s are 12 inches wide versus the V70s are 18. I believe.
God, are they really 18?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I'll look it up.
I don't know.
Real quick, but
I don't know about you guys, but if it's stuff that's fairly generalized in terms of how people keep them in different manners, i.e. bears, rats, corn snakes, like North American Pantherophis, stuff like that, where it's really not that picky. It's not something a little more specialized like Goniosoma stuff, like true Goniosoma. Then that kind of stuff is kind of what I really, really want for my sort of everyday stuff.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like the Goniosoma, it's not something I'm going to keep in a rack. But for like if I need something that'll work for corns and bears and thorn scrubs and subox, like a lot of the BlackBox racks sort of fit. Actually, don't sort of, but do fit the bill for what I need.
I mean, they have everything, especially between the XR 20s and 16s, and then the ARS rack, and then as well as they make V7, two different types of V70s racks. I mean, there's really nothing you can't get from them realistically.
Yeah, they got everything, and they do it well.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Oh. Okay, never mind.
Hold on, I'm looking up the tab differences.
My keyboard. Okay, never mind. It just has my name and not both of ours. But
what?
The little name things. It's stupid. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
But
okay, so I was pretty much right. I was off by a little bit. So your V70 tub is 34 inches long by 17.5 inches wide. But again, that's at the top. The inside dimensions are 28 by 13.25. And then the ARS 55 series tub is 33 inches long by 13 wide. So very little difference. And then this rack that they have with the ARS tub is actually a 12 slot.
It's pretty big.
It's a hefty rack.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much going to be my Pituophis upgrade for everything that's in my.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually thinking about getting another XR16 from them, or a 20 or something, just to kind of have extra space. And I was like, hey, if I get this, it's kind of a win-win. I can upgrade a bunch of my Pituophis which grow super duper fast. Yeah, well, the bull snakes grow very fast along with the pine snakes.
You gonna take my JNI?
Once I get this, probably. If you want to.
No, like right now.
Like right now?
Right now. Jared the JNI.
Jared the JNI. Yeah, I might. I'll have to look at them. But I'm not going to take them tonight.
Whatever.
Maybe once we get these
settled in. Yeah.
Let's get these tubs. But yeah, I'll have a bunch of. I was like, I can upgrade all my pits that are in my XR stack, and then that frees up a ton of space in my XR stack. So I'm like, It's a no-brainer. It's a win-win.
Can't have empty spaces.
Well, no, I plan on filling it, hopefully, with babies. Babies.
But yes. So regardless, whether you need a rack, you need a cage, check out blackboxcages.com. Everything is available in white or black PVC. I've actually come to prefer white PVC.
I have too.
I've seen the light because my room is no longer dark because I'm using white PVC and not black.
I'm telling you, man, like that's what really changed it for me. It was Howard Redding that put it all on a
so bright.
Put it all on a different perspective for me. He was like, I use white PVC because it just illuminates everything. Like it makes everything lighter. You can see inside the tubs better. Snakes get better lighting during the day. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. They're just kind of, if it's black PVC, they're just kind of in a black hole. But when it's white, lights it up a little better. Especially with cages.
Was your holiday break?
It was good. Definitely missed the podcast. It felt kind of lost. It's like, what do I do? It's Thursday.
Just kind of walking around. Like, yeah. I was off for like, I want to say it was like a week.
Damn.
And it's too much time off.
It's never too much time off.
I know. No, there is such a thing as too much time off. I'm pretty sure like I'm one of those like 4 days max. Like I'm good. Like usually by the 4th day, I'm like, okay, I can go back to work now and like do things and not be just kind of sitting around twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah. I had 5 days off for Christmas. Like, well, I mean, that included the weekend. So it was like I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. No, actually, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I had off from my day job. So,
yeah. Did you get anything good?
Yeah, my girlfriend was very, very good to me this year. I was
Did you get a ball python?
I did not, thank God. Dude, I almost gave you Spurge back. I want you to know that. I am a better friend than you are. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that to him. But with you getting all the space now, hey, man, guess what?
What space?
You're getting another XR16.
Spurge ain't fitting in that.
Yeah, you can fit one of the 35Ss.
Nah.
Easy.
No way.
Easy. He's not that big. But yeah, no, she got me the big poster from Drawn to Scales.
Yeah, Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
She got me the big rat snake poster.
That's cool.
And then she also got me a little 8x10 of like all the rat snakes that he's got in there. She got me a bunch of Green Bay stuff, which is always a plus. Then she also got me a little sign that it's like a metal sign that says you can't buy happiness, but you can buy snakes, and that's close enough. And I was like, yes.
It's like the dude equivalent to a live, laugh, love.
Pretty much. So that's gonna go on the door to my snake room, and that's gonna be great. And yeah, other than that, I got to spend time with my nieces and nephews on Christmas Day, which was awesome.
Good.
Got to buy them a bunch of presents. Yeah, other than that, it was pretty chill, pretty relaxing. Yeah.
This was like the most stress-free Christmas we've had in a while because we weren't playing the whole like, okay, it's Christmas Day. We got to make sure we have dinner with my parents, Katie's mom, Katie's dad.
We see like, everybody.
Extended family. Like, yeah, we're usually just having to pencil in all the Christmas stuff. And this year just didn't happen that way because it just didn't. I mean, we still saw everybody and everything. It was nice. It wasn't like, okay, we can come hang out for like 4 hours and then we got to go here and then we got to go
another
there.
4 hours.
Yeah,
and...
just did not have any of that this year, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, probably the hardest part of my Christmas was I had to go to my sister's, and me, my dad, my brother-in-law spent all of 5 hours building a swing set / jungle gym thing for my niece and nephew on Christmas Eve, and that was very, very cold. It was cold
like
here.
Wisconsin cold.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I do not know about that. But it was cold. It was definitely cold.
It only gets 20 degrees there, right?
Dude, it was 30 below the day I was born.
That's not even real.
Yeah.
It's not even a real temperature.
That is a real temperature. My grandma complained about it till the day she died. That's a real story. I can't tell you how many times she told me I had to drive
Damn
through
you,
the
brats.
30 below
Damn
just
it,
to
Jake.
see you at the hospital. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, no, it was cold, and we spent 5 hours outside building that damn place up. But they got it and they loved it, so that's all that matters.
It's good.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anything new on the snake front? Did you end up cooling stuff?
I haven't yet.
Oh, that's right. You're waiting until like right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I'm waiting for it to get cold again. Like it was. I was about to during that cold snap. And I was like, okay, now's the time. Then like I waited a couple days, and I saw it was going to be 70 degrees
Have
this
you
week.
noticed?
And I'm like,
I have not even moved anybody into here yet.
I've noticed. I'm proud of you.
Because first of all, when I was going to, which was like Christmas weekend, because I was like,
too cold.
Off, I was like, I can't even put them in here because now it's too cold.
Yeah.
Like we literally got below freezing.
Yeah.
Which is not a common thing here most winters. So
especially in December, dude. Like,
didn't move them in here. And then I was like, okay, cool. That's gone. And then it was like, oh wait, it's 75 again.
Yeah.
I didn't move them in here still. So they're still in the closet. At this point, I'm just going to keep them in there. I've come to the conclusion that I'm pretty much only going to have 2 corn pairings for sure. Rhino rats. And I don't know if I'm going to do Bairds this year or not. I may take a year off from doing Bairds. I'm about to have me and Phil talked about it Monday night. And I don't want to pair as much stuff as I did last year, but I do want to pair the stuff that I intended to either this year or last year that didn't go. So like those blood red pieds, giving those a shot again, and then that Castagna Motley male to the Ghost Tessera female.
Oh, there you go.
And then Rhino rats, I've been advised on 3 different fronts. They're good to go.
Hey, nice.
So that's going to be kind of it.
Yeah, nice. No, I'm prepping to cool though. Just the other day, I went to Walmart and I bought another radiant heater to put in my garage for January.
Here's another thing. The weekend I wanted one of those for mice was the same weekend everybody wanted one of those. And I go to Lowe's, like empty. There wasn't even like a little tiny like fire hazard heater, let alone the oil-filled ones that I now want to have.
Yeah, those are the tits.
I went to Walmart, blown out. Nothing.
Really?
Like shelves were empty. There wasn't a single heater in that store, man.
I'm surprised. I think I bought mine. It's still in the box, but I bought mine like
this was like while it was freezing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought mine like right before it froze.
Well, everyone else, I guess, needed a heater at the same time, and so there was like none available because I was really worried about the mice. Like the reservoir froze, like the lines froze.
I didn't even think about the water lines and stuff.
The water bottles didn't like get frozen solid, but they froze.
Oh, dude.
Basically, I just wanted something to keep it above freezing. Like I gave them plenty of extra hay and stuff during that just to make sure they have extra like cover and stuff because they will nest hardcore and that stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually did pretty good. I had a small group of 3 that because of the waterline freezing, there was some cannibalism going on.
Drink their blood.
Yeah. So it was, all things considered, it actually went pretty well. And then it ended up being the reservoir hose, like where it connects to the bucket, the line, like the mains.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because of the freezing, something broke. And so it started to like drip.
Mm.
And so for like 4 days after, I had to go over there, put some Flex Seal around it, turn it on, see if it leaked. It leaked more, so I had to close it, dry it off, Flex Seal it some more, come back the next day because it takes like 24 hours to cure, turn on the water. Man. If it's leaking, okay, do it again. Like, did that like 3 times and finally got it to the point where it doesn't leak.
Jesus.
Good God.
That's insane. Yeah, I got mine to keep in the garage during the colder months because I'm going to try and, about hopefully in the next couple of weeks when it stays cold here, I'm going to try and cool everything. And I'm going to throw that heater in the garage. I don't know how well it's going to work because my garage is big and those are meant for smaller rooms.
I I think if you keep it in like if I was gonna do it in here, which I mean this isn't a big garage, but like I would have everything in like a corner, and I would have that heater in that same, not directly next to everything, but in that same sort of corner.
Yeah.
Just to like, I want ambient. Like I want it. It doesn't have to be warm. I just need it to be above freezing. Just like with the mice, it's like they're still going to be cold. I just don't want them to get below this cold.
Yeah, and I'm trying to decide. Like the other day, Zach Loafman said something about his pits being down into the 40s, and I was like, okay, I guess if that's okay for them, then it's probably okay to get most of the rats and stuff down into the mid to high 40s.
I think it like periodically.
I feel like that's too cold though. I don't know.
As long as they're not staying there, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
Like last year, there was some nights where we got like upper 40s, low 50s. And I mean, I checked on everybody, and I kept a Govee on top of every like the stack, and so I could check the Govee periodically to see sort of what they're at. And every now and like a couple of nights here and there of them getting colder like that, it's really no big deal.
Right.
I think it's when they're consistently at those lower temperatures for a prolonged period of time that's when you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can manage it. You know, it's going to be a lot of testing. I'm going to do like a test run, like once it gets cold for like, you know, several days. I'm going to put that thing in there and put like a mock cage or tub, something nearby, and then just shoot it constantly. And
dude, get one of those Govees, man. They're cheap.
Yeah, I need to get a couple of those.
I got one for my birthday as well.
Nice. Oh yeah, your birthday was the day before Christmas.
Yeah, and so I have those in the room. Like I have one in the closet, one of the older ones in the closet on top of the stack of stuff that's in cooling. So I can just hop on my phone and check it, and it'll show you. Like those things are amazing, dude, for the price.
Yeah.
I think you can get them like the baseline model, which is pretty much all I use, is like I think less than $20.
Oh wow. And you get them off Amazon?
Yeah, and you can have like multiple ones. And so like I label mine in my phone, and then I take a Sharpie and write the number on the back. So I have like unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and that way I know which one is which. Because I had that issue where I had 2 of them, but I didn't mark them. So I had to put one like in some extreme, like in the Aki cage or something. So I knew that that's the one I was looking at.
Right.
And then the battery ended up dying on one. So then I was like, great. Now I don't know which one it is. Yeah. But these newer ones, they seem a little more hardcore. Like they're bigger. And it's nice because I can just go on my phone. Okay, I need to check what this one was in the rhino rat cage, because I just moved the mail over, and I had like crazy condensation happening on the inside because I didn't dry out the cypress mulch before I put it in there.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
so I was like, okay,
that's fucking killer.
How hot and how humid is it in there? And it was not super hot, but it was definitely super humid. So I put the Govee in there for a few days to monitor it, and those things like that's something you don't think you'll use very much until you get one, and you just start putting them everywhere. Like, it's awesome. They're great.
Yeah, I should do that in my room because I have a thermometer I have a thermometer in my room, or like a thermostat thing, but it just like shows the temperature, and but it's like off, like big time, like it's like really? 3-4 degrees off. Yeah, I've had it for a while, so now I just like go into my snake room because all my colubrids are ambient. I just take my heat gun and I shoot one of the tubs that's closest to the heater, you know, to check my temps. But it's funny now, I can actually walk in and kind of know if I need to turn the heater down because I use one of my oil heaters in there. Like I said, the other one's still in the box waiting to go in the garage. But I use the one I've been running this for years now. And I just like now I can walk in and I know like, oh, this is too cold. Oh, this is too hot. You know, but even during when it got cold, man, I had to turn that thing like up, like almost full blast to get that room, you know, at, you know, right below 80. I try to keep it around 78, 79. That's kind of my money spot.
That's why I want one of those heaters, and like that's why I wouldn't get one of the other kinds for the mouse house, because those other ones, like with the amount of dust and like grass and like hay, not like grass, but like hay that's in there, like it's a freaking fire hazard.
Oh yeah,
and with those oil filled ones, I'm much less concerned about burning that building down.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
and that's something I would trust way more than any of the other that have like the heated coil, I guess is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, something I bought myself after Christmas.
Oh yeah. Is it still itchy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's itchy. It's just itchy now. I can see right there. That's all it is right now. Is itchy. It doesn't hurt as bad, dude. It was sore for
when you start getting close to like the wrist, and then when you start getting to the elbow pit.
See, and he warned me about the elbow pit. He was like, "It's gonna hurt like bad."
But it's not
there.
as much as the wrist though. Like
the wrist was bad. The elbow pit really didn't bother me at all. For some reason, I think I had a reaction to it, like right here. Like for some reason, this hurt.
There was there's like a nerve there,
son of a bitch.
Because I thought the same thing when they did mine on that same area. I was like, why does that's uncomfortable.
He told me the wrist and the elbow pit were gonna hurt, and I was like, okay. He got to the elbow pit, and I was like,
I don't even know what the official term is for that part of the body, but it's the elbow pit.
Yeah, no, that's what he said. He was calling it the pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, he straight up called it the elbow pit. He's like, this is gonna hurt. He got there, and that was like one of the least painful parts. It's like, this doesn't hurt at all. It didn't bother me at all. So when he was doing the head and the shading on the head on my wrist, I was like, yep, this.
I got that big ass shading needle too.
Oh yeah, dude.
3 times the gauge of everything else.
Yeah. So yeah, this was my Christmas present to myself. I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely gonna need some touching up in a few months, but yeah, right now it's just itchy. It was real sore for a while because it's solid black. It was just like it was painful for days. Like I whacked on a few things and it just sucked. And I was sleeping with it. My whole arm saran wrap, so I didn't ink all over everything and
start oozing.
Yeah, dude. The first thing I woke up and there was just ink all over my arm. But I've been taking really good care of it, washing it a lot, keeping it moisturized. So,
where'd you get it done?
B for Tattoo.
Who did it?
Obi-Wan
Kenobi.
No, that was his nickname, Obi.
Oh,
well, I asked him, I was like, so how'd you get the nickname Obi? He goes Obi-Wan, but he said because there's 2 Brians here, and I was like, oh. He goes, yeah, they call it other Brian. He said, but to me it's old Brian because I'm by far the oldest guy here. And then I was like, what about the Obi-Wan? He's like, everybody here's a Star Wars nerd, and I was like, oh, okay,
Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Yeah, so he did it, and he did a pretty good job. I definitely need a little touch up around the tail. It bothers me because there's this part that's like sunk into getting like kind of a little too skinny, a little too quick, and I'm like, I'm too picky to not want that fixed.
I have to stare at this the rest of my life.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's not anything. Even I showed my dad, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want this part fixed. And he was like, oh, dude, I wouldn't have even noticed that.
I wouldn't have noticed on my regalis here that
man, that thing's all over the sensitive spot.
It looks like a freaking cat's butthole, dude. Someone pointed that out. It was Danielle.
Let me see it. Oh yeah.
Now I can't unsee it. I mean, I don't care because I freaking love this tattoo.
That's a great tattoo.
I love Basilotheria.
That is a great tattoo.
But straight up, you can't see it right here, but it straight up looks like a cat's ass.
Yeah, like straight.
Someone's like, "Why do you have a cat's butthole on your arm?"
Straight booty.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I looked, I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of son of a bitch, so we just got monetized recently, and now apparently your videos won't be monetized if you're using language. So,
what does that mean?
Like cursing and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
YouTube is like cracking down. Like you can't make money on videos. So I'm like, it's fun while it lasted for the 3 months.
So no more cursing.
No.
Oh.
I don't care.
Fuck that. Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Trying to be more advertiser friendly.
Wait, were we getting paid from YouTube?
Like barely anything.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a thing? I didn't know it was a thing. Oh, that's cool.
Like $10 a month.
Hey man, $10. As I always say.
$10 is $10.
No matter how you get it.
Oh, so I thought that was funny because I was like, I've noticed it lately. Like I upload them and then it's like ad suitability. It gives you a little like warning. I'm like, Okay. I'm trying to think, like, what did we say that would have, because YouTube, I guess they have some sort of programming or something where they can pick up on what's being said, and like they can decide almost instantly if it's something suitable or not. And I'm like, something must have changed, because I was like, we didn't even really talk about anything. Not that we talk about crazy, like off the wall stuff anyways, but
it's definitely not.
I was like, something's changed, because it keeps telling me this. I was like, I know it ain't us. So found out that thanks to Bill Strand at the Reptile Entrepreneur. He did a short the other day on Instagram talking about it, and I was like, that's what it is.
Because of Jake's potty mouth.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. I mean, hey, I can clean up and we can make this a no swearing show.
I prefer we didn't.
Okay, well then, it's fine with me.
You know how hard that would be?
Yes, I do.
Like, you motherfucker.
That would be a lot more editing.
I still wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Still wouldn't do it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
It's Archie running around.
Yeah.
So the cage that I want to get from BlackBox.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting the what?
XR16.
Yeah, I know the rack, but the cage.
And then the XA3.
See, I thought I was getting an XA3.
I almost got the new, like, 2-foot slider that Phil's getting for some of his stuff, but my only concern was that,
like a cube.
No, it's like a. Look it up.
I'm already on it.
So I could pull it up here, but StreamYard might have a stroke.
It's our
Phil's getting.
Is it our boreal cage?
No, not the 2-footer. You're talking about the XA3.
Are you getting the Bio 18? Because yours is 36 by 24 by 18. Is that what you said you're getting? Okay. Yeah, so they have different XA3 models, because I'm getting the XA3 Bio 24.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I was going to go with the Bio, just because, like, I have plants in these enclosures, but I have them, like, potted. Like, I don't have them in the substrate.
I just like having that thick lip, boy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, okay. So
I figured I'd give that a shot. I think that'd be a good size for what's going in it.
They do have a 24 by 24 by 24 cube.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of cubes. I feel like they're kind of bulky, and the 18 cubes might be the exception, because those seem to be a little more manageable.
Right.
But before, when I had that cube, like, it didn't matter where I had it in the room, it just didn't work. It was so much wider than, like, everything else I had. You know, this is pre-BlackBox stuff, and it was just super awkward. Now I have, you know, the Aki cage and the Jansen Eye, and it fits on top of those perfect, because they're the same width and depth. They're just longer, so it fits right on top.
So I think what you're talking about that Phil's getting is the XT2 Bio, which is 24 by 18 by 24. Yes.
Yeah, I thought about getting that, but I got in a pair of Goniosoma Persimmum today, after FedEx delays, which we can get into that in a minute. And so I want to get those set up right, because, you know, they're Goniosoma, and I don't like keeping Goniosoma in racks. I think they do better if you kind of give them space, and you give them hide options and places to go and things. And
absolutely.
So I'm going to get them set up in that XA3. I'm going to get UV in there, and they're going to get an LED, kind of the similar setup to how I have the Jansen Eye, just without the heat panel. And the XT2, I think they would outgrow that fairly quickly. Yeah. So I was like, let's go up a notch.
Are you going to house them together?
Yes.
Okay.
Not immediately. Like, so right now, I bumped up the male rhino into a cube that I had from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a BlackBox cube, and it shows. For instance, I should have resealed the bottom with silicone, because I went and, like, watered the plant and noticed water was leaking out of the bottom of this cube. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this does that. Doesn't matter how good how good those screws are in there.
Yeah, it don't matter.
So
don't
I was
matter.
like, yep, should have gone to BlackBox. 2020 hindsight.
Yep. That's why I like getting the pre-built cages. That's why I will never not get something like pre-built from BlackBox. Granted, we have the luxury of doing that because we can drive there, and if you pick up, they will build it. At least I think, won't they? Or will they? If you get a 4-footer, is it always a flat pack?
No. So there are options that come pre-assembled. I think it's once you get above the 3-foot options.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It gets shipped flat pack.
Yeah, but if you pick it up,
I believe you can get it assembled.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. No, that's I hate doing the silicone thing, man.
Dude, I'm horrible at it.
I'm so
I can't
bad
do it
at
without
it.
getting it everywhere.
I have 2 4-footers from my past caging company. That I had to do that in. You can still see the silicone strips all along the side from where I was fucking it up.
Yeah, I'm really, really bad at it. Katie had to help me with the Aki Cage one.
Yeah,
because I got that like flat pack because it was, I had to build it and show people how to throw them together.
Yeah,
and I had to have Katie help me do the silicone in the corners and stuff because she's much more patient than I am, and I'm how I can even color inside the lines is kind of amazing.
It's best if you're gonna do it. It's best to actually have the tool for doing the scraping.
Because I tried to use my finger.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
It works, but I was like, why do I feel like I'm not doing this? Yeah. I had a glove on, and so the glove was wrinkled, and it was getting extra silicone on the floor and the side, and it was just the whole thing.
So. Yeah, it's definitely better to have the tool with the edge, and you just. But. Yes. I use my finger for the 2 that I built, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, so I moved the Rhino into that cube that I have. Female Rhino is going to go into that cube with him in a couple weeks, which will have me open the 2 BioGs that they're in. And so the plan is for the Percentum to each go into one of those until I get this XA3. And then the plan is once they're in those 2 BioGs will be empty. One of those will remain empty. And then the smaller male Rhino I have right now, that's like a yearling from Terry Burwell. Shout out to Terry. He's the guy. He'll be going into that stack of 4 that's over there. And then that XA3 will likely go on top of the Jansenite cage. So I'll have a pretty decent stack of cages going there. So that's kind of the plan at the moment. I need to get more cork, which is always painful because it's unless you go to shows, cork is expensive for whatever reason. I don't know why cork is so much cheaper at shows than it is.
I mean, where else do you buy it though?
Online. It's not. There's plenty of places online to get it, but the problem is it's not. It's never as cheap as it is at shows.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I need to try and make another show to get more because I have some cork sitting around that I bought a bunch of extra at the last Replicon we went to. So I've got that sitting in the closet waiting to get my next cage because I'm also getting a bio.
What do you put in yours?
XA3. I haven't decided, so I'm getting the exact same cage I had as I got last time, except minus the heat and UVB. I'm just getting LED lights in it, and I'm also getting a permanent divider in it. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put my yellow rats in it or if I'm going to put my gray rats in it. So I have 2 I have a pair of growing up Seminole County yellows that are getting fairly large. And then I have a pair of gray rats that I've been raising since they were wee little worms. But they've gotten pretty big. Either one would do well in there. Problem is the yellows with the tubs they're in now, they would be losing a little bit of floor space, but they would gain quite a bit of height. So I don't really know how I feel about that, but they are up quite a bit. They do spend a lot of time off the ground. And then the grays, I mean, it would be an overall upgrade. I think I'm going to put the yellows in there and then just switch them out for the grays whenever they outgrow that, but that's going to be a while because it's still going to give them a pretty good amount of space. It's going to be 18 wide by 2 foot long by 2 foot tall, so they'll have a pretty good amount of space in there. But yeah, the street's gonna have LED lights because I run ambience now, and you know. So, but yeah, getting the permanent divider in there, super stoked about that. That's going to go right on top of my other XA3 Bio 24, which houses my massive boy Rico. Rico. Yeah, he loves that thing, dude. It's a great cage. I want to deck it out a little bit more. I'm kind of sad with how it turned out. I want it to look a little bit cooler. I need to get some more wood. And what I really need to do is go out and cut down some small trees off my dad's property. But
yeah, I really want to. I think spring. I looked it up, like crepe myrtles, which we have a ton of here. It's a really nice, super hard wood that works really well for cages, as long as you keep them on the drier side. Mm-hmm. I think spring is when people start trimming those up.
Yeah.
So start keeping an eye out.
You know what I think would work really well, and I actually chopped down some a while back, but I cut them up too small, and I left them outside for too long. They got rained on, got kind of gross. But even after being rained on a ton, they were still very hard. Chinese tallow trees. They grow pretty tall before they get like wide, and they're also an invasive tree. So chopping them down is a plus. It's a good thing, and I think they will work really well for enclosures. So I want to find some more of those somewhere and go to Hacksville on some, dry them out for a while. Problem is though, I don't know how I'm going to disinfect it. Thing with the cork wood, I just stuck them in my freezer for a couple weeks, and I was cool with that. But the longer pieces, I don't really know how I would disinfect them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of tough.
That's my only problem.
What I would have to do with the crepe myrtle too, like when I trim it, is like you have to let it sit out and really dry.
Yeah, so let it sit out in the sun. But I guess if it's a couple bugs that aren't harmful, I mean, it's not really going to matter that much.
Because what I wanted to do was take like the manzanita perches that I get and basically make those from the crepe myrtle.
Yeah,
I don't know how people do that. I'm sure it's easy as far as like getting a screw in there and
but would it not be just as easy to cut down several like longer pieces and then just?
Yeah, but I like the ability to kind of put them where I want them and configure them how I want them and not have to do them at certain angles because I'm limited to that. I don't know. I love those manzanita perches. They're also not super cheap.
Really cool. Yeah,
not crazy expensive either, but
they are not cheap.
I would like to be able to make my own.
They're not crazy expensive if you're only buying one or two, but if you want like 20 of them things,
there's a place on eBay that sells them for fairly like the most reasonable price I've seen.
Yeah.
So that's usually where I get them in like a 3-pack or something. So,
excuse me.
Yeah, I need to get my hands on some stuff to kind of start getting that cage together. I planted just before you came over. I got some pothos over there.
Oh yeah,
potted.
Oh yeah, I
sort of get those growing because those are going to go in that cage, and if they do as well as the pothos do in the BioGs with the rhinos, they're going to freaking explode.
Yeah,
like these pothos are lush.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's something I need to try and incorporate in some of these other cages. I think what I may do is try and do like a hanging scenario, like hang a pot of pothos and let it like grow down.
It would be easy to do, just figuring out a way to make sure that like if you have it hooked on there some way that it's with a hook that can't the snake can't pull the pot off of that circle hook.
That's true.
I'm sure there's a way to do it. Like it can't be that difficult. But
yeah. Also, I just realized I still have a ton of wood that I stole from my dad's house when he moved. Remember, I sent you a picture of the haul I got. I've got like I got a piece that's like almost 5 feet long. Bunch of like really high quality stuff that's been sitting out in the sun for like a year. So that's definitely going to get incorporated soon. I forgot about all that.
Yeah.
So it's been sitting in my garage. So
I'm excited about these Persimmon though, man. It was those
are freaking cool, man.
It's a joint project between myself and Matt Most. The fact that he decided that I was.
He entrusted you.
He entrusted me with that project, man. It's crazy. Like I was kind of thinking about it finally last night and sort of really. Just talking to him about it a little bit too, like getting some more background information and stuff on the actual animals, and I was like, man, the pressure's kind of on now. Like,
don't kill them or let them
exactly.
loose.
I was like,
what if they escape?
If something happened? No, I don't worry about that anymore.
Oh, sure,
I'm good.
I don't know, man. They're not small enough to squeeze out of one of those hefties. Are they skinny?
No.
Are they skinny?
No, I mean they're like the same build as a rhino. They're like 2/3 the size of the adult rhinos right now, give or take. You'll see them before you leave.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see those things.
They're I ain't worried about that. But
yeah,
it's
do a little research on their care and where they're from, and get some info.
I mean their care wise isn't going to be really any different from the rhinos.
Yeah.
So that's
why you got to keep them ambient and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, so we'll see. I mean, they're a year and a half old now. So possibly next year. I don't know. It's something like that's kind of the weird thing is like when you do sort of joint projects like this, it adds another element of it that makes it a little difficult because especially if it's someone who has bred the species before and sort of knows the ropes better with them in particular, to be like, oh yeah, next year they'll be good, right? And then be like, well, I'd probably wait a year. And it's like, okay, well, it's like if you're the one who sees them every day, day in, day out, and you kind of like they're of size, like they could do it. Like obviously I get second opinions like I did with the rhino. I got 3 second opinions.
But there's also an age aspect, with some things, if
for
they're
sure.
like a size is one thing, but then if somebody's like, yeah, I've really noticed they do better at 4 years old, then it's like, okay, maybe I'll give it another year.
So yeah, it just when you have another person, I mean, we've done it like with the Amazons and stuff that we've done. Like, how did you screw that up? It's like I don't know. It just happened.
All the Amazons that you killed.
Yes. Yep.
No, I don't think that was a you thing. Those were.
I don't know what the deal was with that, but
I don't know. But I'm never going back.
It's like a lot of guys do it with chondros. They do the permanent breeding loan, whatever that means. As far as
I've never understood the permanent. I think breeding
it's just
loan.
you get a percentage of hatchlings like in perpetuity,
right?
So like whenever that animal produces, you get some of those babies. I'm assuming is how the permanent thing works, because otherwise I'm like, isn't that just like you're giving that animal to someone?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
But chondro guys, dude, like imagine someone's like super high end chondros, be like,
yeah,
there's a lot of trust involved there.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where you have to. Chondros in particular, especially like higher end stuff, I would not be comfortable doing it without some sort of like a written agreement, basically saying like, if this happens, this is what we're gonna do. If this happens, this is what we're gonna do. Like, basically any scenarios where it's you end up selling off some stuff. Like if I ever got out of chondros, the animals I have from Luke and David, they'd be the first people I'd be hitting up about those animals, being like, hey, do you want me to send them back to you?
Do you want this? Yeah.
Of
course.
I think just because like I feel like they should get first priority.
Oh yeah, obviously. But I think it's one of those things that like, and obviously it depends on who you're doing it with. Like say, I gave you a really nice corn to breed. If I gave it to you, you cooled it, or I cooled it, gave it to you, and then it rolled during breeding, I'm not going to hold you responsible. I'm not going to be like, oh, now you owe me, $200 because you killed my snake. Because you don't know if that same exact thing would have happened to you. Like that animal very well may have died as well. And in this case, it likely would have, talking about this. And that's why breeding loans are so like, you have to do it with somebody you trust. That way,
absolutely.
if something does happen, you kind of know like it was kind of inevitable.
There's
not
things that are
necessarily anybody's fault, you know.
Definitely things that are in your control and outside of your control.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've seen what happens when things go south and two people are now like they were friends, and then it just absolutely obliterated whatever relationship they had, and it was like I would feel bad. Like that would not be a situation I'd want to put myself in, and so like it's a trust thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And there has to be sort of an understanding going in, and communication has to be sort of open and like, okay, this is what's going on. Like, what do you want me to do? Like Chris, like I was like, the Janai, like there's some things I'm thinning out on things because I've decided that this year I'm going to focus on Ganyasoma heavier than I have previously. And so I was like, I could probably use to clear out some things. So like the Subox, the Janai, there's a handful of corns that I could reasonably part with.
Right.
So that's kind of my plan. The cave geckos.
Yeah, that made me a little sad. I saw that in the group chat. I was like, oh man, it's gonna move the cave geckos.
They just see that's I hate it because it's not that I don't enjoy them.
Right.
Like the Subox especially, because I love my Subox. But it comes down to the sort of the thing we've talked about in the past of like when you're deciding whether to stick to a project or move on to something new.
Right.
Would I rather have Subox, or would I rather have less animals to worry about, less animals to feed, where I can spend more time focused on what I want to focus on?
The geckos are easy though. Come on, you're already breeding the bugs.
They just, like I said, like
just giving you a hard
they're
time.
really cool, but at the same time, they kind of just exist.
Yeah,
like they're not. Katie was like, you should get a, get a nice display set up for them and like do that. I'm like, we wouldn't see them still. Like, you still wouldn't see them.
Yeah, they're just
like they're cave geckos. Like they don't
yeah.
do anything. So
yeah, no, I get it. They are. I mean, it's the same reason I gave them to you. They just. I mean, I mostly gave them to you because they just did not work in my room, and
I just feel bad because I get super pumped about stuff, and then after a while, I'm like, these are cool still, but
yeah,
maybe it's that initial excitement kind of just wanes. But
yeah, no, I feel you.
Like the Subox, like I said, that's the toughest one because like I do love my Subox. It's not that I'm never gonna not keep them again or anything like that. It's just like currently with what I want to do, I consider them sort of non-essential.
Right.
And the Janai and some of the corns, it's like if I'm gonna commit to the Ganyasoma stuff, I feel like I need to make some moves and do some things to make that happen. So
you'll keep the Florida pines, but you'll move the Janai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, I mean, I do because I love Janai more than life itself. But
I like it's cool, but maybe it's just because it hasn't really colored up. But again, I'm kind of like it's pine snake, and I feel bad because Chris sent it to me. I mean, he surprised me with it. I didn't know I was getting it, but I don't have the pit bug nearly as bad as you guys do.
Yeah, no, so, I want to look at him again because I feel like he was a freaking screamer. So I want to check him out before we leave because I will probably take him because I do. Although I don't really know how that female I got at Daytona is doing. She eats fine, but I don't know. Just there's something off about her. I can't put my thumb on it.
Can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I don't know. So she's gonna be in quarantine for a while. But a lot of my stuff that's in quarantine is actually about to graduate. Hopefully, everybody's doing really well. So to get these BlackBox upgrades, probably gonna move some stuff into there.
It does seem
except that female I got at Daytona, but I do want to check out your Janai because I will probably take him.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I messaged Chris and I was like, "Here's what my plan is. What do you want me to do?" And like I let him decide. I was like, yeah, I'll send them back to you if you want them back. I'll sell them if you want me to sell them. Like
talking about the Jani,
all of anything that I've gotten
all of
from
them,
Chris
yeah.
that's on the sort of the not the chopping block, but things that are
right
on the roster to move.
right.
And Chris being one of my best buds, he's like, I don't, do whatever you need to do. I'm not worried about it. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So figuring all that out, but I do think there seems to be a pretty large exodus of people that are kind of doing the same thing. Like I see a lot of people in our circle that are saying, I'm cutting back on things to focus on something in particular.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, it's sort of the theory of everyone goes through like a spring cleaning of sorts every like 3 to 5 years. You end up going and looking at what you got and being like, how did I end up with 1 of this, 5 of this, 3 of this? Like you just accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
And after a while, you kind of realize like, I like them, but I don't like. It's not something I really want to like focus and dedicate more food and space to.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've talked about that a lot. You go through those phases of getting stuff and then realizing like, it's not for me. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm kind of glad I've done things the way I have. I really only have pairs. There's one trio that I'm like, I don't really need these. Probably going to move them. But other than that, man, like, I'm really happy with everything I got. Like I've been sitting on my, a lot of my stuff for quite a while now. And I'm like, yeah, no desire to get rid of these. But again, like granted, I have like pairs of a lot of different stuff, but they're also kind of also all the same, just different. So, talking about Michael Luberts.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, even like with the corn stuff, like everything, me and Katie had to talk about the other night because I was telling her how I need more, I need a bigger space for that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, that's not really something we can do immediately. So it was like, okay, well, do we start planning to just buy a bigger house within the next like 2 years? Do we figure that out? And, I told her, I was like, because she's like, why don't you get rid of some things? And I'm like, because everything, like, especially in corn
has a purpose.
Exactly. That's exactly what I told her. I was like, all the corns and stuff in particular, it's like everything I have that isn't already stuff that I have for sale.
It wasn't all just stuff I bought on a whimsy.
It's stuff that I have for a reason.
Like, yeah.
But then again, like I have some pairs of things where it's like, do I really need the male? Like I'm male heavy. I could probably hold on to the female and part with the male. Like there are some sort of things where it's like, okay, what am I? It narrows it down even further to where it's like, okay, like yes, I want to focus on Ganyasoma in 2023. Yes, I want to focus on like switching over to corns. Like what do I want to focus on in corns? Like Castagna is a big one. Like I love that morph, and that's a morph that that and honey, and I love it. Like that's what I'm focused on. I got a ton of Castagna stuff now. And so it's like, okay, what do I have that's sort of outliers to that
what doesn't fit?
Not necessarily what doesn't fit, but it's like, okay, I have Castagna. What do I like looking downrange 3 or so years from now? Like what am I really interested to see in that morph? Like what do I want to put it to that's the most interesting to me?
So right. Like, and I guess that's what I mean by like doesn't fit. Like, why do I have this one random morph that kind of doesn't really mesh with the grand scheme? Like, like this isn't something I really want to plug into Castagna or anything else, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I mean, I've got a few of those, but
yeah, I know you've done pretty good at keeping your.
Oh, dude, it's so hard.
Oh yeah.
Especially with corns, like there's just so many that I like, and I've got a ton of stuff from Chris. And some of it, like, there's a really nice charcoal tessera. And it's like, that's such a good looking snake. Like, I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with him, but I know he's so nice that I don't want to part with him.
Yeah, he's special.
But it's the same with like 20 other snakes that I got from Chris. So it's kind of a problem. It's like,
yeah.
I like these a lot. So it's a very tough thing to do, and I always I think with the internet, like people are a little hesitant to be sort of more open about the fact that like maybe they just don't enjoy something as much as they thought they did.
Right.
And so they kind of quietly move things and go on to other things, and worried about people saying, well, you were in those for 5 minutes, like you were just you just trying to like test the waters to see if you could make something like money wise out of them or something like that, or like you were so excited what happened, and it's like stuff changes.
Yeah, it's like you had them for 5 minutes, okay, and like it didn't. It's not my thing. It didn't work out. Like
same with the Barons. Like
yeah,
I was like, yeah, let me give Barons a shot. I like the Rhinos. Maybe I'll like the Barons just as much, if not more. I doubt it, but let's find out.
Yeah, they're better.
And it was like I had it for a while. I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's not a Rhino. And so went to Skylar.
Yeah. He adores that thing, dude.
Exactly.
He absolutely loves that animal, and I love my Barons. Like.
But it's the same with the cave geckos.
Yeah.
The Boigo was a kind of a different scenario, but those are with Terry now, and I got.
Oh, you finally sent those to Terry?
I did.
Good.
Nice. He's been trying to pair them, but he's like, I'm deathly afraid this female's gonna try and eat this male.
Aren't they your breeding pair?
Yeah, but that female's like way bigger than he is now.
Oh, really?
Like she had surpassed him while she was still with me. So I was like, dude, when I paired them, they were about the same size, so I didn't have a problem. But,
Sheesh.
there's the thorn scrubs. I think that's a really good example. Like that was something that I was like, I wasn't super like stoked. It wasn't like, fuck yeah, thorn scrubs. It was like, these look cool. Chris talks about them a lot. Try them out. He sent me a nice, cool locality pair. Turns out they were major assholes.
Yeah.
Got them to breed, and honestly, that pairing and breeding those, and I
could you say they're the biggest thorn in your side?
There's really nothing in herps and what I've kept and done over the years that I've regretted.
Yeah.
But I legitimately should not have paired those thorn scrubs.
Yeah.
And I try to think back as to why I paired them, and I can't think of a valid reason as to why I did it.
I think it was yeah, I think you kind of, because last year was kind of your big year, and I think it was a fuck yeah, I can breed everything,
a little bit. Yeah.
But then it was also one of those you weren't expecting to get as much as you did, and then kind of I
had an idea.
Most everything went for you.
Like though, I had an idea of how many clutches I had the potential of having, but that doesn't tell you how many eggs and how many babies you're going to be with.
Right.
I don't know. Like I think about the thorn scrub thing a lot, especially lately. And it was like, I really do like, that was stupid. That was just dumb. Like I didn't have to do it, and I did it. And I still have 2 babies, and I'll, full disclosure too, like those are a hard sell. Like those babies. I mean, I had, how many did I have? 5? No, more than that.
Yeah, like 6 to 8.
I think so. Like and got some of them. Some of them went to some people, and but then it's like if you, I guess it doesn't help that I'm kind of like, I really don't enjoy these.
Yeah, you're really killing them, man. You're not making them look good, and that's the thing. Like they're not not
snakes.
Bad snakes at all. Justin talks mad shit about them. Anytime I talk to somebody about them, they're like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. Smitty really killed me on those." And
yeah, but everyone's got their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, like cow kings, like Florida kings and cow kings. Like I fucking hate those snakes. Doesn't mean somebody else like Loafman and Chris, like they love them. They're all about them. Like congratulations, that's fantastic.
Harry too, man. Harry loves his king snakes, man.
Anything in the Getula complex, I'm just not down with. Easterns are kind of the only like exception, and even then, I'm kind of like not really don't. I'm okay with not having those 2.
I would love Prairie Easterns, man.
So everyone has their species that they just don't like. And it's not that they're not cool, because they are still a snake. They are still awesome. But it's like, in terms of keeping it, it's like, fuck those things, dude. I don't like, nah, no, thank you. I'm good. I have that little striped albino. That's the freaking spawn of Satan himself.
Have you even tried to handle it?
Dude, I can't even open the tub without that thing trying to freaking take me out.
I think you just need to gross that. I bet you
Probably.
I bet you can just pick that thing right up, man.
Doubt it. We'll find out.
Yeah, I'll go play with it after the show.
Okay, you can take it home with you.
I will not.
See, why not?
Because I don't want it.
Neither did I, but I got it.
Yeah, well.
Background story.
You could have sent it back with Keller.
I couldn't have.
That's all I'm saying.
He just kind of thrust it upon me.
Yeah, well.
It was like being flashed and you weren't expecting it. There's no way of stopping it. By the time you realize what's going on, it's too late.
It's too late. You're just got
so
butt crack.
I have this. It is a pretty snake. It's an albino.
It's a very pretty snake.
Cow King. I think it's like, is it a mosaic? I don't know what that even means. I don't know what that is.
It's not mosaic.
Het mosaic, is that a thing? I don't think so.
I don't know if it's a thing, but I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
mosaic.
But he's like here because for the last couple of weeks, if not months, like I've been talking about this raffle for Ryan Reed that we finally sort of announced publicly. That's going to be happening next month. And so Keller was like, here's a Cow King for that raffle. And I was like, dude, I don't even know when like I'm officially like starting the raffle. He's like, well, you know, when you do it, here it is. I'm like, so long story short, came home with the Cow King, and that thing is horrible.
It's not like it's for you.
Like, I kind of feel bad like putting it up for someone to win, because I'm like, why would you bring this into your home?
Because people love Cow Kings, man. You keep talking like that, nobody's gonna bid on it, and you're gonna be stuck with it. So I would start talking up that Cow King, bucko. Or else it's gonna be yours permanently.
Oh,
you know what? It's kind of like when somebody gives you a Christmas present when you never wanted it. What does that sound
Apples
like?
to oranges.
What is that?
Apples to oranges.
Just because it doesn't bite? Is that the orange to that apple? No. Now you know how it feels.
This is different.
It's not different.
Yours is like someone giving you a kitten.
Yeah, mine also eats something like 3 times the size.
This is like someone giving you a fucking gremlin.
I tell you what, I'll take the Cow King if you take Spurge.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's how much I don't want a ball python.
Yeah, neither did I.
At least in normal. I'm still on the fence there. Like, I had a little moment of like,
if you get ball pythons, you are getting Spurge. I want you to know that.
He's like our mascot, though. Unofficial.
Then you take him.
No.
That's why I haven't gotten rid of him. I so badly just want to message somebody to be like, dude, just take this fucking thing. I sadly am, and I hate you for it. Like,
Stockholm syndrome.
I don't want to be attached to him, but I'm like,
I don't want to love you, but I do.
I don't want to love you, but I don't want to get rid of him. That's why I just want you to take him, so like he can stay, and I can keep my eye on him.
What if we do like
partial custody?
Like custody, yeah. Like, you get him in the summers, I'll get him in the winters and on weekends.
You know that just stresses him out.
Yeah.
You know it's just gonna stress him out.
You can get him on Christmas. I'll get him on New Year's.
Every year he's a Christmas present to the other person.
What is it? What'd you get me?
No, one day I do when like I eventually like want to put like some type of setup in my living room or something one day, and it'll probably be Spurge.
Just little guy just be coming out and saying, "Hey,"
just so he can be there. He eats like a freaking monster, dude. He's a dickhead because he always flips his water bowl over. Little jerk. But he goes crazy for food. Anytime I go out to feed, he's like at the front of his tub, and like if he sees your hand, he will fuck you up. Like, he's fine like taking him out, but dude, he's ready to go every single time. He's never skipped a meal. But he's still not that big because I don't feed him like crazy, but
it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. but he is due for an upgrade. A lot of carpets are due for upgrades. But
how many pairings are you doing of those?
I'm hoping to. I just put mine together.
Oh snap!
I'm wondering. I just put one pair together, and I'm wondering if my room being warmer now isn't going to mess
Have you
that
seen
up.
anything?
I haven't seen anything for the first time. They were on the shelf together today. Well, the second time, because for a while they were like two ends of the cage. Like, nope,
That's a good sign, though.
not having it. Yeah. So today, with the storm that came through yesterday, they were on the shelf together. This is that they've bred before together. So I'm hoping that will go a ways, and I'm probably going to drop the room at night a little bit moving forward. I just fed the other day, so I didn't want to do it right away. I fed all the colubrids and some of the smaller pythons. So I'm hoping I can
wise
drop
camera,
them.
dude.
Yeah, that I'm not big on. I don't really
Why?
care about getting that because I'm not going to be able to see anything as it is. So
they come in night vision, so you can like Paris Hilton it. You know, see that's legit.
Yeah,
that's
I'm still not going to be able to see two snakes copulating.
You don't know that?
Yeah, I do. You might be able to see them together, but I also just beat bop my happy ass in there and look.
This is when you're like at okay, all right. My wife,
middle of the day, I'm not really worried about them
about this all the time because I got another camera for my birthday, like an upgraded version of the one I had. So I have two. That thing has come in handy. He's like when I first put those two chondros together, the smaller ones, a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I could go back because like it'd be lights off. I'd go to bed. I'd wake up in the morning and they'd be separated or whatever, And so I'm like, okay, well, I wonder if anything happened while I was asleep. I can go back and watch and see if he even made any attempts, if there was any locks or like potential locks. Making sure that there's no issues like compatibility wise. Right. So I find them handy. I have mine pointed at the Jansenite cage now because I'm starting to miss them more regularly, so I can kind of check in periodically and see what they're doing.
I can see that, being able to go back and look at what happened during the night, like if they were separated completely or cuddling a bit, things like that. I guess I could see the goodness in that, but I don't know, man. A lot of people use all that fancy technology for their stuff, and I'm like, I'll just go in there if I'm really curious.
Tell me, man.
I'm just a simple-minded bitch. I do need to get some Kofi's, though. That is something I should probably invest in.
Absolutely. Everyone should.
Yes. But, oh, yeah, it's something I did not bring up when you talked to me about animals. So everybody knows I got a pair of hog noses from Keller not too long ago, a couple months ago, which are doing fabuloso. Females eating unscented pinkies now, no problem. I haven't got her yet, but I recently paid for an albino anaconda from Elijah Day. Which
did you end up? Yeah, I knew you were like looking at it. I didn't know you ended up pulling the trigger.
Well, I put a deposit down on her when I first told you about her, and then I just sent him the rest the other day. But dude, look at this freaking thing.
Oh yeah. What's toffee?
White. Toffee is just it's another morph. This is albino and anaconda. It's a possible Arctic. But that's
not hip.
That's pronounced. I've looked in the Hognose morphs a little bit, and
I just know the reds. The reds are nice.
I have been so no morph for such a long time now, but I've always had a soft spot for hogs, and literally my favorite morphs within hogs are anaconda and albino, and especially the high white stuff. And I was just doing some looking, I was like, oh, look around a little bit. Went to Elijah's page, and sure enough, he had this beautiful little albino conda female. Main reason I'm doing it is because of the mail I got from Keller. That thing is just freaking amazing, and I think it would be a waste not to try and do something with him. So that is a thing I am doing now, which I am dumb excited for. Which we also
He had those ball pythons, and I was very tempted to just get a pair of, but
we need to plan a trip down there soon to go pick her up.
oh yeah,
You already said you would go,
I did.
so there's no backseas. We can go see P and Cody. Check them
Yeah,
out.
I forgot he's down there.
Yeah, he's in that area. Really isn't that far.
Go see Derek.
Yeah.
Make our rounds, our Florida rounds in the greater Gainesville area.
I wish we could go down to like the Tampa area, see Billy and Skylar, but that might be a little out of the way.
Sky Dog.
I could convince Skylar to come up and see us.
Yeah, meet us up there.
Yeah. Do something about it.
You figure out when that's happening, and I will try to make myself available.
Well, I would like to go sometime this month.
Bitch.
Bitch, what? Like later on.
We're going this weekend.
Tomorrow.
Spoiler alert. Saturday we're leaving.
We leave Saturday. We ride. But no, probably later this month I would like to try and get that set in stone. But Elijah is hunting a lot right now. So he said he would probably just link up with us in the evening at some point. So I figured we go down.
Can't even get out of his stand for a day.
He's duck hunting.
Same thing.
You don't duck hunt in a stand.
Okay,
dude.
a blind.
You freaking
whatever.
You freaking yuppie. But yeah, no, he said
it ain't like he actually hitting anything anyways.
I know
he ain't fooling anybody.
No, he sent me some ducks they got the other day.
His ass is in the blind sleeping.
Nah. Elijah's about it. So I figured we'd go down like a Saturday or something, meet up with or go see P or something during the day. P and Cody meet up with Elijah in the evening, crash somewhere, come back Sunday or something.
Word.
I don't know. Figure it out. Figure it out. But yeah, super excited about the hog train. I'm very afraid it's going to turn into a like your corn snake problem.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah. See, that's denial's the first step.
Denial is not just a river in Egypt.
Never heard that one before. But yeah, I'm low key afraid that that's going to happen. I'm going to try and prevent it. I might add one or two more to the mix just because
I said that same thing.
Yeah, I'm going to try and not go nuts.
Then I'm like, hey, Eric Westmoreland, how many of those castañas do you have?
Well, that's
1.4. Perfect. I'll take them all.
Is that really what happened? Holy shit. Well, that's the thing. Hog morphs are actually pretty freaking expensive. So I won't really have that luxury, honestly. So it'll be a little easier with that.
Well, he sent me 2, and then I got them.
You're like, give me the rest.
These are so nice. I was like, dude, you still got those other ones? He's like, yeah. I was like,
send them.
Put them in the box.
Put them in the box.
Box them up.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm going to have that problem with hogs because they are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So
just don't be bougie.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. I wouldn't. I want to get like kind of single base morphs and kind of make my own. Even though I didn't get a single base morph, I got an albino anaconda, but still nothing too crazy. So we'll see. I don't know. I've always loved hogs like a lot. I've always regretted getting rid of the pair I had. Then I got these from Keller, and I got the itch again, real freaking bad. So we'll see. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think
it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It's definitely going to be a busy year. I haven't told you yet. I'm not working at Lowe's anymore. I am back at the restaurant, um, where my roommate works. So doing that as a second gig now. Except I'm serving. Going to be making tips. So hopefully that helps out with a lot of stuff. It's definitely going to help me out a lot this year.
Just the schedule not driving.
No, they were just kind of really screwing me on taxes. Like,
really?
Yeah, like bad. Like my first check, they took
taking too much.
Yeah, like way too much. They took 40% of my first check and then took 70% of my second check.
Did they give you a reason why?
Nope. I worked literally half. I worked half the hours I did on my second check because I was sick, and they took the same amount out in federal taxes, which was almost as much as I get taken out at my day job. Right. Something was wrong, but nobody would get. I called HR, and they could not tell me anything. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah,
in that case,
I'm done.
See you later.
I'm done." So now I can make at Upper Crust in a day or two. I can make what I was making in 2 weeks at Lowe's. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of a win-win. It's a lot farther of a drive, but it's all good. I'm working with people I like, and the job isn't nearly as shitty. So yeah, that'll be good.
Plus,
yeah, that'll help out a lot this year. So I'm hoping that really goes well this year. I have a lot of big plans this year. Not really animal wise. I don't really plan on adding a lot, but I need to get some things paid for, some things paid off, in my personal life, and I think a lot of that should get cleared up this year, which will clear up a lot of other things
until Daytona, and then it just all goes to shit again.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's that's happening. And then it sounds like there's talk of Northeast Carpet Fest happening. Also in August.
Also in August?
Yes.
Oh.
So I don't know if a lot can change between now and then, at least on the Carpet Fest front. So I don't know, but I was all excited, and they were like August, and I'm like, oh.
Are you telling me you want to try and go to Northeast Carpet Fest?
Depending on when it gets scheduled, yeah. It'd be awesome to go up there. I haven't been. Never been.
It's a long drive, buddy.
Yeah.
It would be our longest road trip yet. But
plenty of time for me to nap.
Dude, I will punch you in the dick. No. I'll still never forget our drive back from North Carolina.
Dude, I tried to stay awake.
Like
okay,
10 o'clock at night, and you're just slump. I almost killed us that night because
Why are you telling me that?
I was trying not to fall asleep because you're supposed to be my wingman.
I tried to
You're
stay
supposed
awake.
to be there for me.
You don't
just
understand.
Fell asleep.
I'm a 90-year-old man in a 32-year-old body.
No, trust me, I get it, man. If I'm in a car, dude, I'll sleep. I'll sleep.
Like a fussy baby. Put me in a car and drive me around.
That's right.
I'll pass out. I'm good to
right
go.
away. That's right, boy. It's bad though, because I try my body, like while I'm at work, I drive a lot, like at my day job, and like I'd be like trying to not nod off while I'm driving, and it's bad. Also, partially because I wake up at the butt crack of dawn every morning to go to that job, but
you got to get your 8 hours, buddy.
Yeah, that I don't. That I do not get. So
too busy fucking around them streets.
Yeah. No, dude. Last night, I think because I worked Upper Crust Monday and Tuesday night. Yesterday I didn't do nothing after my day job. I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock. I think 6 to 7 ish. Fell asleep till like 8 o'clock ish. Went and laid in bed. Hung out with my girlfriend for a little bit. Passed out again. Woke up at like 10:30. Drank some water. Went back to sleep. I slept a lot yesterday. It was nice. It's great. Much needed.
Very good.
Yep.
So we already have a pretty good bit of awesome stuff for the Slate Read raffle.
I might be adding some stuff.
So to clarify, I'm spending the month of January sort of getting things together and getting things set up. And then February is when we will be making it happen. So some of the stuff we have. So I have like that bag that I had made it work with the THN logo on it. I got another one of those.
Nice.
So that'll be in there. The Demon King snake, that's on my end. I may also put in a corn or two. I haven't decided. The cave geckos, I believe, are going to go in there. I think that's going to be kind of the best route. Christian Parr has an awesome holdback leopard gecko. I don't even know what it is, but it's freaking screaming. That thing is awesome.
Nice.
Eric Westmoreland said he'd put up a $300 voucher with paid shipping on anything he has available on Morph Market.
Nice. That's big.
NPR calendar and shirt, some carpets and coffee mugs. There's a local guy that actually lives in Bluffton. He has a 2022 Poplin carpet.
Justin?
Huh?
Justin?
No, this is a different guy.
Oh. Wow.
Dylan Shows, who we've had on previously about the rattlesnake avoidance training.
Mm-hmm.
He got approval today for, if you're in the, I think, Colorado, Idaho area, a free training course for someone who's in that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I got some art. BlackBox is going to include something. We have a Benchmade cigar cutter that Phil has that we've been meaning to do in a raffle for a while now. May have some other animals on the line. Some of it's still to be determined.
I might have some animals to.
Yeah, and so sort of what I want to hopefully do is talk to Reptiles Express and see if they are willing to help us out with the shipping of things like animals.
Okay.
The only problem is I don't want to go to Mike and be like, hey, can you help us out? And him be like, yes. And then I come back and I'm like, okay, we got 50 animals we need to ship.
Right, yeah.
So I need to talk to him and see what he's willing to do and then kind of go from there. The other option was basically have it to where the donor can decide whether or not they want to pay for shipping or have the winner pay for shipping, which I think is fair. I don't think that's anything outlandish to ask if that's the route we end up going.
It just has to be clarified.
It has to be clarified, yes. Yeah. And then let's see, I think we have a copy of the More Complete Carpet and one of the posters that Julander put together. We have a pink Venom Life snake hook, a bacon line gargoyle from Chris. That's a little bit of stuff. So things are still kind of coming in. It's going to be pretty. I
was about to say so big, far that's a lot.
There's still some things. There's things I have written down. There's some original art, which I think is cool. I have stuff written down, but it's TBD. So we're still kind of waiting to figure out what exactly is going on. I think Kasicki said he was willing to put something up. Don't know what that's going to be yet. Yeah, so it's stacking up good, and it's awesome that people were willing to help us out because it's a pretty talked about it Monday, kind of briefly, but it's a really as a parent, it's
for anybody who doesn't know, do you want to tell them what?
Yeah, so our buddy Ryan Reed, who lives up in the Charleston area, his son, who I believe is only 5 or 6, was recently diagnosed with a rare form of muscular dystrophy, which is called Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's incredibly rare. There is no cure for it currently. They're making trips to Duke for appointments and whatnot. And as soon as I found out, because he's a close friend of ours, I was like, we got to get another raffle going because we've had people asking for another raffle since the one we did in May. And so I was like, here's the perfect opportunity to do another one. Let's do it bigger and better than that one. So
yeah.
Like I said, get everything together this month, and then February we'll get everything up and going. It'll be on the THN website. We did that with the May raffle, and it actually worked out pretty well. Just because if we do it on Facebook, like we could, but I worry about the zuckening.
Getting Zucker fucked.
Yeah, so it'll be on the website. That way we can do whatever we want. We can do animals, we can do cigar stuff, we can do whatever, and not have to worry about any of that stuff. So it works out. And if we can get Reptiles Express on board as well, even better. But like I said, there's still some logistical things I need to iron out. Nothing major, but it'll be good. I'm going to start kind of getting some graphics and stuff together to get ahead of that. So that way by the end of the month, I'm not like rushing to get everything up and posted. I can kind of get it done. I have sort of a system in my head in terms of how I'm going to lay it out. And then I'll get I already had rules written up from the May raffle that I'll keep. I may add some things to it this time. Just more like liability stuff. I mean, I mentioned it Monday night, but we vet whoever's putting in animals. Like, we make sure that they're healthy and that they're legit people and they're not sending stuff that's on its deathbed or anything like that. So I think that kind of the one thing that is just, if something goes wrong and there's something wrong with an animal, being like, we have to figure out how to handle that. So we're other than that, I think for the most part, the May raffle we did was pretty non-invasive, not super difficult to do, went smoothly, and it'll be good.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else?
Yeah, there's not really much of a better cause to do this for either, man. Like, like you said, this is, obviously I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine what their family's going through all this. So, any little bit the community can do to help them, man. I mean, this is.
You also get, there's cool stuff.
Yeah, there's great stuff. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff available. So you're helping out an awesome cause and you're getting an awesome item out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
This episode was brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. Check them out. We love them, and you'll love them too.
Promise. That's on THN, boy.
And speaking of, if you end up buying a rack or a cage or both, use the discount code THN at checkout. Get a little bit shaved off the top. Anything's better than nothing.
It adds up.
It does add up.
It adds up.
And it does work, because I was playing around with it just to verify, and it works.
It does work.
THN, 3 letters. That's all you need. Takes 2 seconds. Save yourself some money. So do that, and then head on over to stevesnakery.com and get yourself some Venom hot sauce. Cottonmouth sauce in particular is our recommendation, because that's our favorite.
Oh, yeah.
But they're all worth grabbing and trying. Do it.
They're all great. Definitely give it a go. We need to get an updated badge.
We do. I feel like we keep saying that, and it keeps falling by the wayside. So
yeah, definitely need to get some.
Needs to happen.
Absolutely.
We'll be back Monday for Snakes and Stogies. I need to talk to Chris about planning a Corn Stars episode, because I'm itching to get back into that.
So you can just push THP to the side.
That's right.
Because you hate me.
Like corn snakes.
You like corn snakes?
No, I'm saying you like corn snakes, and then I won't have
to. I like corn snakes, and you'll hate me less.
Yep.
Okay. I'll sell my whole collection and get into corn snakes. Just
perfect. Castagna.
Your love is the only love I desire.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, everybody have a good evening.
Good night.
We'll see y'all later.